Just doing a video game ramble here today. I don't know how long it's gonna be. I just felt like rambling about video games, honestly. Just a little bit of the stuff I've been playing or whatever, and my thoughts on games at the moment and whatnot. I am still playing Final Fantasy 16. I'm in Kupka's region. I forget what it's called. I just fought him, cut his hands off, and then the other guy, I think it was Odin or whoever. Somebody grabbed him before I could finish him off because I sucked in his powers, and then I was gonna finish him off, but then his powers got sucked in to Clive, and now I'm in his domain, his area in the desert. So I'm still enjoying it. Still having fun with combat. Some of the side quests are a little just kind of go get something, fight something, but they're good to get some ability points and whatever. And this, I forget what this other thing's called, but you get these in some fights. Like if you do some of the hunts for enemies, you get these things. You go to this one person at the hideaway, and you get, however many certain ones you have, you get some bonus items or some items and stuff. I forget what these things are called that you get, these point type things. But I'm still enjoying it. I'm still enjoying the story. I think I kind of want, like, those spoilers here, like with Joshua and Clive. It's like they're just missing each other, and it's kind of annoying. I think want them to meet up again. But I'm still really enjoying the hell out of it. I think it's fun. I don't mind that it's not open, like a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth or even 15. Bigger open areas. This one's very. And I was trying to think about it when I think I did the impressions. It reminds me a lot of Dragon Age Origins. I feel like that was another game where you would go to areas and you can kind of explore the smaller area, but it's not massively open. You're not running all over the place like a Skyrim, or even a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, or Witcher, stuff like that. You run all over the game map. This is more like you go to the areas. You fast travel to any area you want to go, and then you can explore that area. Not that to say the areas you go to are tiny, but it's not like a huge open world. But I kind of like that sometimes. It's not overwhelming. Some of the open world games get very overwhelming to me. And that started with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That game world was so huge. I was like, are you kidding me? But I'm still really enjoying this. I actually just beat this the other day. I finally finished up the last two chapters, 4 and 5, Life is Strange, True Colors. I enjoyed it. I kind of like the mystery, trying to solve why your brother was killed and what this place Typhon, the mining company, was doing in town. Pretty decent kind of like little twists along the way. You use Alex Chen here. It's a good game. Thank you again to the person that gifted it to me. I liked it. I said this in the past because I played this after. It was kind of a good palate cleanser after Silent Hill 2. I mean, I love Silent Hill 2, but Silent Hill 2 is a specific kind of game. You're enjoying Silent Hill 2, but at the same time, like, getting like, oh god, like, and this is more bright and cheerful in its way, although depressing things happen in it. But like I said with Silent Hill 2, the dialogue was so awkward and natural, like a natural conversation between people who don't know each other. These games in general, Life is Strange games, the voice acting is really good, but some of the dialogue, it's just like people throwing these kind of like little quips at each other. They always got the right perfect thing to say and stuff. I don't know. While it sounds good, the voice acting is good, it doesn't seem natural, and it's just, and that goes for a lot of these types of games, honestly. And the ending with some of these games, these kind of games, not Life is Strange games in general, but like in this one, you find out who killed, like not who, you find out who's responsible for your brother's death, and some of the people in town you meet, and some little twists, and like how it went down, and who did what, trying to cover things up and whatnot. And then you can go romance. You don't have to romance anybody, but you can romance like two of the main characters. I choose the one. And then it's like, oh, once you've figured out the mystery and you confront the people and things go down and everything, blah, blah, blah. You're like, oh, that's nice closure. They make it seem like, oh, we can leave town together or we can stay. And this decision means nothing. It's so like, they try to make this huge thing. I think she's 21 at the beginning of the game. And I don't know how much time goes past in the game, but she ain't, I don't even know how long it was. Was it 2-3 years? I don't even know. It was probably like a year or two. She's not old. She ain't 25. And then they're like, it's like, if you don't leave town, if you decide to stay in town with who you romanced. I romanced Steph, the one who was in, she's also in Life is Strange Before the Storm. I liked her character in that one. And it's like, oh, I'm going to start up the band. Because Alex plays guitar. We can go tour, or we stay here and never leave. Like, it's weird. You're in your early 20s, mid 20s most. You can't just be like, yeah, we're going to stay in, what was it called, the town? It doesn't say that. Haven Springs. It's like, oh, you can't just be like, we're going to stay here for a couple of years, enjoy ourselves, maybe save up some money, and then go figure out the music thing and go across the country. They act like, no, if we leave and tour the country, we'll never come back here ever again. And if we stay, we can never leave. I hate these decisions. It's like this, like, it's not like they're in their 70s, and it's like, you know what, here's a chance to go check out some stuff around the globe or around the country. But if we stay, hey, we might not get another chance to do this. No. They try to make these decisions like it's like some kind of... Not that either one of them end up being bad. I chose to stay. They don't end up being bad. It's just they make it seem like... Oh, they could be like, yeah, we stayed in Haven Springs for 4 years. And then went out and got the music thing. We started recording, I never understood that with games. It's not just this game. So the games that make the end decision... The end kind of decision on how you want to go about the rest of your life. They make it seem like you can never... If you stay, you're staying. You can't leave the boundary of this town. And it's just kind of, I don't know. But it was still, I actually like some of the twists in this. They kind of got me in a few where I was like, oh, okay. It was a cool game. I know this, Double Exposure. The one that brings back Max Caulfield? Caulfield. From the first game. She's back in that one. I'll probably pick up that one at some point. I ordered a game the other day because they have the Black Friday deals early now, as they do. So I got a game I wanted off of Amazon, $15, which I'm kind of excited about. It's one I've looked at for a while, and I've always teased. It's like, it usually used to drop to 20. I would never get it. It was 15. I was like, I'm doing it. I might do a pickup video on that. But I'm picking that up. And I still have PS5 games I gotta finish playing. This, I've got to go back to Alan Wake 2, which I was enjoying, but this is, oh man. I got other games on like Infinite Wealth I got to continue to play, or Ratchet & Clank I got to finish up. I haven't opened Dredge yet. Deathloop, I'm not into that much, honestly. I might end up selling that. Forspoken, I want to give another shot. See, Forspoken's like a bigger game world, it seems, but it seems very empty. It almost would benefit more from how Final Fantasy XVI's game world is laid out. That's what I wasn't digging about that game. The combat was pretty fun and stuff, and I liked the characters. But the game world, and like I said, I didn't play a ton of it. So maybe that becomes more of a thing later on, where there's more going on in the world. I'm trying to look at what else I got up there. I can't say everything. I got Midnight Suns and stuff. So I have stuff I can finish up. Lost Legacy, is that what it was? The Uncharted 4 DLC with Nadine and Chloe. I've moved a couple games recently. I'm grabbing stuff off the shelf and just selling it. I'm like, okay, I'm never gonna play this again. I do want to do those rambles like I did with the PS2, Xbox, GameCube, and the 360 PS3. I want to do one with PS4 and Xbox One, and I want to do one with the 16-bit era, TurboGrafx 16, Super Nintendo, and Genesis. And I might do other ones from time to time, maybe. It's harder for me to do like one that would be like Nintendo 64. and PS1 because I did not play. I still haven't played enough PS1 stuff, but I played none of it for years. Back when it came out because I didn't have one. So that's a hard one to do because I don't know. I haven't played enough. I have not enough experience with the PS1. Yeah, I could do one with PS5 and Switch maybe, or like Switch and the Wii U, and even the Wii for that matter. I don't know, maybe like a Nintendo specific one. That's why I just wanted to ramble about stuff. And it's funny with this generation too. Like I still think this generation of consoles, PS5, Xbox Series X, S, is just not that great. Honestly, that's how I feel about it. Like realistically, when I get the PS5. 23, November 23, so I've had it a year. Literally just about a year. I think I got like the 25th of November. Just about a year. And I got a nice amount of games for it, and I'm enjoying the games, but the main reason I want it is because I just was getting the itch. Spider-Man 2 came with it. I enjoyed the hell out of that. And Ghostwire Tokyo was phenomenal. And then I knew Final Fantasy Rebirth was coming out in March, or February. It came out like February 29th. I mean, at max, I would have waited a couple more months, but I didn't like. Realistically, I could have waited, and I still wouldn't have gotten like the PS. What's the PS5 Pro? Is the Pro like $700? Like, no, I wouldn't have spent that much on that shit. No fucking way. I've seen graphic comparisons of the games, and while the PS5 Pro looks better, it doesn't look. You're not like, oh shit, I fucked up by not getting the Pro instead of a regular PS5. I feel like if it's $200, I feel like the difference ain't $200 worth, you know. But I enjoyed the stuff I've played for it. There's plenty of other games I want, but I feel like it's funny. I got that PS4 in 22 and went nuts with that. Like, I think I picked up too many games for that because they were cheap and stuff. And I'm like looking at those, like, okay, I can get rid of some of those because I'm never gonna play them. But I was getting them for like $10. But you know, I played like Stray and Resident Evil 4. I played on there, and most of God of War. I need to finish up. I think I'm at the end, especially if I want to get the other one. Sorry about that. Especially if I want to get the other one. Ragnarok or whatever it's called. What else did I play on there? I played a bunch of Shadow Colossus. That remake. Uncharted 4 I really enjoyed. Final Fantasy VII Remake, the first part I played. Played a couple others as well. I can't remember what. That was the Sackboys whatever adventure was fun. Until Dawn was really cool. I played that one. I find it funny that they made the Until Dawn remaster where it looks a little better graphically, but they're charging like $60 for it. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what? They're putting Tales of Grosses, I think, out. I think this is a game that came out on the PS3. They're putting that out as a remaster, so just up-res and whatnot. It's only $40, which is like makes more sense. Like, unless you're pulling a full remake. There's one I want to get. It was originally a PlayStation 1 game, Star Ocean Second Story, but this one's Star Ocean Second Story R. And that one's $40. I might pick it up while it's on a Black Friday sale for $20. I might end up picking it up. I don't know. But that looks cool. It has a cool art style where they really enhanced the environments and stuff, but the characters still running around as like 2D sprites. It actually looks really cool. But like a straight up remake is like, you know, when Silent Hill 2, Resident Evil 2, 3, 4, straight up remakes built from the ground up. It's like, yeah, I'm into that. But the remasters, it's like, you know, like, if you want to put the games in a collection and sell them for cheaper, like they did with the Uncharted on PS4, maybe it's up-resed, cool. I like the idea of that. It's all about the price point. Like, $60, was it 60 bucks? Wasn't it 60? Was it 50 for freaking Until Dawn? It's like, crazy thing is that game's been out. That game came out with like 2014. It's funny though how like people seem to be more interested in, especially the older stuff, getting remade than like newer games coming out. And I'm part of that as well. Like Silent Hill 2, I was like, yes. Resident Evil 2, 3, 4, I was like, yeah, these are awesome. I like a lot of that. I don't like. If I haven't played the game, it's a little different. But in the case of like Until Dawn, I'd be like, well, I could probably get the PS4 one for like $10. You know, I am not the graphics whore I used to be when I was younger. I don't care anymore if something looks a little better on a system or a new remaster looks slightly better. I'm not paying a bunch more money to play it. It doesn't make sense to me. But there's a lot of games I want to get. Somebody was telling me about they mentioned, I think it was about, it's during the Ramble about the PS2 Xbox Cube and Dreamcast. They mentioned Reservoir Dogs in a comment. I believe it was that video. Whatever, either way, it was mentioned in a comment. I forgot they made a Reservoir Dogs game. I completely like. And I was like, I gotta look at the price for that. And I was like, it's under $20 on the Xbox. I may have to pick that up. Like I said, I want to expand out that Xbox collection. I think this game actually caused me to hit 100 games on the Xbox One. I might have to do another Xbox One collection vid. I do have the brackets set up for the rest of the games. I forget what I have going, which one's going to go next. Thank you to the people who voted on them all. The two that have come out so far. But like I said, I look at the shelves of these games and like I've said in the past, it's like, oh, it's so awesome to be able to have 90% of my stuff displayed on the shelves, and then part of me's like, I don't need all these. It's better off as money in the bank. His name's Frank. West. I forgot that just got a remake came out, right? Yeah, that one's a weird one. It looks like to me, the Dead Rising one. It looks like it's like not a full blown remake, but it looks better than a remaster. It looks like it's in this weird, like, in between of those two, but it's funny because they've been doing this stuff for years. They did it with Conker's on the Xbox. They did it with Resident Evil on the Cube. Conker got its remake on the Xbox from the Nintendo 64. Resident Evil got its remake from the PS1 to the GameCube. So I've been doing this. Yeah, the remake at least it looks. That's why the Dead Space one to me, it looked better and like that was it. And I was like, no, I need more. Even though it was still enjoyable, but it was like I'm just playing the same game. With Silent Hill 2, it was like this feels like a new game. Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 4, they just felt like newer games again. While Dead Space to me didn't feel like that, even though I still liked it because I don't hate the game. That's like. I didn't feel like I got that. Silent Hill 2 did it really well because it was different areas, things were extended out. I mean, Resident Evil 3 changed up quite a bit, but and to its detriment, they made it more into like an action movie. I liked it, but it's not nearly on the same level as 4 and 2. They are like much better on that from a remake perspective. 2 is probably still my favorite of those 3. 4 is awesome, but 2 was just... And 2 was creepier than the original 2. I didn't find a lot of the original Resident Evils creepy at all. I like the atmosphere and stuff, but... Up until 7, I was like, these aren't creepy. 7 was creepy to me. The Village lost a lot of that, which sucked. Outside of the dollhouse level. I felt like area, I should say, which it wasn't even a big area. With a weird baby eats you. The giant baby's like, wow. I said, when I played through Resident Evil Village a second time, like, I did not like it nearly as much as the first time. I think now, like, looking back after playing it a second time, I mean, even when I beat it the first time, I liked 7 more than it, but I was like, it's, for me, a wide gap. Like, 7, in my opinion, is a lot better than Village, or 7's better than 8. While not bad, Village at all, but it's just not. 7 was a lot better, in my opinion. Resident Evil Revelations 2 creeped me out pretty good, too. I was surprised by that. I wonder if they're going to do full-on remakes of, like, 5 or 6. 5's weird, because 5's like a straight action game as well. It's action horror. But I played that game like 3 times through. I played it on the PS5 originally. And I played it through co-op with somebody on the 360. And then I think I played it single by myself on the 360 as well. It's a great game. It's just, to me, it's just an action horror game. There's like no survival horror elements. And Resident Evil 5, 4 at least still had survival horror elements. But 5 is still an awesome game. It's almost the Assassin's Creed kind of Odyssey thing where, although you know what, Assassin's Creed Odyssey doesn't feel, there's a few things where it feels like an Assassin's Creed, but overall it doesn't. Resident Evil 5 still feels like Resident Evil because it's got the goofy story shit and all that crap. But it's almost the least feeling Resident Evil game for me. Although 6 as well. I didn't play 6 full. I played Leon's campaign, Ada's campaign. I think I ended up playing Chris Redfield's campaign. And I played some of Wesker's Kids. And that game was like, oh, I don't like this campaign. Leon's was pretty cool. Ada's was pretty cool. The Chris Redfield one wasn't that great. And I didn't play enough. I'm pretty sure it's Wesker's Kid you play as one of the campaigns too. Whatever his name is. A lot of those games are never been creepy to me. I'm getting the itch to play some of the old Genesis Sport games, so I kind of want to play through. Set up a tournament and one of the maybe it'd be like Bulls vs Blazers or Bulls vs Lakers. Play through the playoffs. What else is there? Yeah, it's just that. It's like part of me, it's like I'm enjoying the games I played from this new generation, but there's not a ton I'm looking forward to. The one cool thing is, and this was happening last gen as well, you get a lot of this lower budget games, or just straight up indie games. We'll say instead of AAA, they're like a lot of AA budget games, single A, double, budget games, which is cool, and they're priced at a nice price point. A lot of them will be like, usually no more than 40, and some are like 30, some will be 20 when they come out. Stuff like Akai and the Bridge Curse, a lot of horror stuff, the Dollhouse, or whatever it's called, In Sound Mind, all type of the Tormented. A lot of those games are cheaper. The Phobia one was like a $30 game, I believe. You get a lot of that kind of stuff, and some of that's hit or miss as well. It's not, they're not all incredible. I was watching a gameplay of somebody. I'm watching a lot of ghost debunking videos on YouTube, like people ragging and debunking Ghost Adventures, which I used to love Ghost Adventures, mainly because it was just goofy and it was good for entertainment value. A lot of the stuff you're like, okay, dude, you're getting possessed every week and this shit, but they were entertaining. But I watch a lot of videos, and the one guy, I guess, does some gameplays of horror games, and these are games I've looked at on Steam. They're on Steam. They're cheap. I've never picked up one because it doesn't have control support, so I gotta get used to using the mouse and keyboard again. But the Fears to Fathom games, there's probably like 6 or 7 of them. There's another one, I can't remember what it's called, that has a bunch of little games. They're like a couple bucks a piece. I forget what it's called. Chilla's Art, I think it is the other one. But I was watching one where the person played like a hitchhiker. Apparently these Fears to Fathom are somewhat based on true stories. Like I guess they've getting submitted stories from people that are allegedly true. And then they change them up a little bit, but there was one with a hitchhiker, and it was actually pretty decent. Actually, it seemed pretty creepy, which I was like, oh, maybe I'll pick a few of them up. Or at least one and see how I handle it. Get back into the groove of using the old mouse and keyboard. Because I got this USB mouse. Because this freaking touchpad on this thing sucks. It's always sucked too, and I've changed the calibration and everything and the sensitivity, whatever it is. It's just not great. It's so much easier with the mouse. But yeah, because Steam just has tons of that stuff. I should look and see what their Black Friday deals are. Now, like I said, the Payne's Creek Killing, Suicidal Rachel Foster. I have a couple more I've not finished on there. There was another one. Oh, what was it called? Right? Was there a third one I played on there? Oh, man. There's Land of Pain. There's one called Land of Pain that I was playing. That was pretty cool. And there's a couple other ones as well. There's probably at least 5 or 6 more on there. And the thing I like is I think, is it Phase or Phasmophobia? Phasmophobia is actually on the PS5 now. Because this laptop is not going to be able to handle that game. So I saw that on PS5. I was like, oh, nice. So I might have to pick that up. A lot of people have a lot of good things to say about that. I might have to pick that up. That's like a Ghost Adventures type thing, right? You get all the ghost equipment and stuff, ghost hunting equipment. I might have to pick that up because you see some of the stuff on there now too, which I like. Although I like playing some of them on it. If the laptop can run them, I like playing them right on, just have the thing set up right here, boom, 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 playing right there. I like that too. I think some of the games are suited better to the laptop as well. Payne's Creek Killing was an interesting one because it was like a mystery game and you're going around the town finding notes, figuring out what's going on and stuff. And it wasn't even necessarily creepy. The end is like you getting chased, but it always had that vibe there the whole time. Like you're like, oh shit, there's some places you go into and you're like, nothing ever ends up happening, but it gives you a good vibe. Suicidal Rachel Foster is actually really good too. I fucked that up at the end because I didn't realize that. And you're in the car at the end, and the ghost is trying to like get you to kind of kill yourself. And I didn't realize you could not do it. And I was kind of like, wait, oh, whoops. And all of a sudden the ending happened. I was like, I think I could have stopped that. I need to go back and do that again because it's not a long game. But there's some cool parts in there. We're doing like, I guess it was like ghost hunters. You're in a hotel. I think your family owned or something. There's a ghost hunting one, a group in there, and there's like a thing you're doing in there that was pretty creepy. Where you're listening to their tapes and watching their videos. I believe it was pretty good. That was a cool game actually. Yeah, I need to actually look into that. Look into more of that. See, maybe after this video, I'll see what the Steam sales are doing. The Steam sales. You can drop like $15, and end up with like 4 or 5 games. But yeah, I don't know. I guess some of those games in general are just this generation. I'm not like getting excited. Like I was excited for Silent Hill 2 and Rebirth. But there's nothing else coming out that I'm necessarily like, oh, I can't wait to get this. Because who knows when the third part of the Final Fantasy remake's gonna come out. But there's like nothing there. Like I can look. Let's look on here. Let's do this as part of the vid, right? Let's look up some games that are coming out. I always just go to GameStop. Best Buy doesn't usually have nearly as many listed, at least. The GameStop here in Ashboro is just not great. I've been in there a few times after. I picked up the Sith Lords. They had on the original Xbox in there, but they don't really get. They have some 360 stuff in PS3, but they have not gotten like the PS1 or PS2 or PS3 stuff recently. I'll go in there randomly, like say. I do gotta get back to the Antiques and Geeks and the other flea marketeers and the Antiques Mall. See if anything else has popped up. The Antiques and Geeks news, some other games may have made their way in there. I don't know about the other ones. Let's see. PS5 upcoming games. Let's see. I don't want to see new releases. Oh yeah, pre-order. What do we got coming out? Oh, that Dragon Age game came out recently, didn't it? Oh, they're making a Plague Tale collection with the 2 games in there. Oh, wrong button. Raven's Watch. Like a lot of stuff like this. Raven's Watch, $40. Predator Hunting Grounds, $40. Dogman Mission Impossible, $40. Rugrats, $40. This Black Myth Wukong game is... They've been talking about it. I guess that's come to PC already, or Steam, or whatever. And apparently it's coming to the consoles as well. You've got Raging Bites, BYTS. Worms Armageddon Anniversary Collector's Edition. I guess that is another remake of sorts, right? I can't pronounce that, but that's a $40 game. Gothic 1 is getting a remake. I think that's like a Diablo type game as well. But if you're looking, you're not seeing, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but you're not seeing like tons of these AAA games. You're just not seeing them. They are making Resident Evil 2 again. It's coming out in January, the remake, for $30. See, and they're doing it with 3 as well, and they're putting them out 30 a piece. So if you want to replay those games, they ain't gonna look better. Maybe they're adding some little bullshits. I don't know. $30 though. It's a nice price. Here's the Tales of Grosses F remastered, $40. Dynasty Warriors Origins, $70. Darksiders 2 Definitive. I don't know. It's not definitive. It's death. Because I think it was death, like the one you use in that one. The horseman you use in that one. Sniper Elite Resistance. Oh, there's a new Phantom Brave coming out at $60. Witch Spring R Collector's Edition. I had this one Witch Spring game on the Switch. I never opened it because I think my fiance got it from like Easter once. She just looked at my list and was like, oh. I never opened it. It was like a $30 game, and now it's like something like $60 new. I don't know why. Let's see if we find anything else good. Sid Meier's Civilization 7. That's coming out in February. That's $70. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Another $40 game. Oh, there's Assassin's Creed Shadows. I forgot that got pushed. I got no interest in that. Like, part of me wants to pick up Valhalla sometimes, and I'm like, I got no interest. I don't, because it's like $20. I'm like, no. I liked the Mirage because it was tighter. It was a smaller game world. It had the feel of the older ones, which to me is more Assassin's Creed. Even Black Flag, which is my favorite, even though you're hopping from little island to island, it still had the feel of an Assassin. I think Origins, to me at least, it started to lose that. But those are great games. It feels just more like an adventure game. Oh, The Legend of Heroes. We got another one of those. Oh, there's Pirates of the Yakuza coming out. That's with, I forget the guy's name. Probably says his name. Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. What is his name? He's the one who's hanging out with Kiryu. Oh, Majima. But look at, like, there's nothing where you're just like, oh shit, here's the big title that's coming out. And I'm sure plenty of these games are good, but I feel like I could wait on every single one of these games if I wanted to. Like, there's no games for me personally that I would need to get at day one or very close to release. There's another Dollhouse game coming out. That's another one of those $40 horror games. I always looked at that other one, the first one. Never picked it up. Oh, that's Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remaster original PlayStation games. That's $50. That's what I was interested in. That's not till March. I don't know how to say this. The Alchemists of Memories. That's a new one at $70. I know that's been a franchise for a bit. Romancing Saga Remastered, a minstrel song. They're making Broken Templar another reforged. I guess it's another kind of remake of Shadow of the Templar, the second Broken Sword game, $40. I'm like tempted to get that, even though I played it. Unless they're adding some time. That's a short game. Maybe they'll add some stuff to it. There's Tormented Souls 2. R-Type's Tactics. Really? R-Type's Tactics? Is that a tactics game in the R-Type universe? That'd be interesting. Or is it just a straight shoot 'em up like the rest of them? Multiple campaigns. Oh, the debut of R-Type's Tactics 2 in the West. Oh, they were only on the PSP, so this is a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up action combines with tactical turn-based strat. That actually sounds interesting. That could be something I'd be into. Actually, I like shoot-'em-ups, but a tactical one would be kind of interesting. I guess these were games on the PSP, so that was a while ago. This Lost Records Bloom and Rage game seems interesting. I think that's similar to like a Life is Strange type game. Oh, you get the Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, the remake of that. They don't even have a date on that. When it says 12/31, this is 12/31/25. They don't have a definitive date on it when they usually throw that one out there. Little Nightmares 3. You know what's nuts? Because like the guy, I forget his name, one of the heads at Microsoft was like, you could possibly see any Microsoft exclusive come to PS5. And I was like, he's like, could be Halo. I was like, okay. And the funny thing is, it's like, I almost need to get like, you're not on that list. You're not seeing, you know, any kind of Last of Us. Like, you're not going to see any of that for a while. Of course, GTA 5 will be coming out in 25, but that'll be the end of 25. And they still don't have a set date for that, so you never know. I don't know. To me, back in the day, this, for me personally, ended in the PS2 Cube and Xbox era where you'd get a game and it felt like a big deal, right? Of course, you know, you're younger, at least me, guys, I was early 20s. All of a sudden, you have more money to spend on things, which, you know, because you're not buying games like crazy, right? When you have less money. But it just felt, whenever I get a new game, it just felt, it was a bigger deal than it is now. And that became that way even on the 360 and the PS3. It just didn't have the same impact. I guess maybe you just get older and, you know, I don't know. But, you know. But there's just like nothing. What about let's look at the Xbox One. I'm not going to look at the Switch. Switch actually has a surprising amount of shit coming out, but I'm not going to look at the Switch. I was looking at the Switch's Black Friday deals, and it's all third-party shit. It's like, God forbid, Nintendo has one of their first-party shit go on sale. Let's see the Xbox Series S, X. I know they have Stalker coming out. They fucking botched it, man. They botched it back in the Xbox One when that was going to launch. They launched it for like $500 or whatever it was. And then PS4 is like $400. And they also did the thing where they're like, oh, you're not going to... They ended up going back on it, but they fucked themselves early. Like, you're not going to be able to... With used games, like, you can't lend somebody a used game. You got to own it yourself or some shit. You can't lend it out. And they ended up going back on this, and because people were like, are you kidding me? And they're like, okay, we can't do that. But Sony had that little thing, like, this is how you share games on the PS4, and the person just hands the game to the other physical copy to somebody else. Because it's crazy that Xbox has kind of gone downhill since the 360. Like, it's kind of wild. I haven't heard great things about Dragon Age. What is this? Fantasian Neo Dimension. Square Enix. Is that an exclusive? Or is that a remake of something? I don't know. I'm gonna look at things that I didn't recognize on the PS5. I guess Stalker 2 is actually out, so that's not gonna be on here. They have three. They have 3 pages of upcoming games. Sony had 6, and I'm pretty sure the Switch has like 5 or 6. Monster Hunter, Pirates, Dollhouse, all these games that I've seen. Suikoden, Pet Island, Atom Fall. I didn't see that, I don't think. On the PS5 one. Claire Obscure, Expedition 33. That I don't think I saw on the Sony one. What else? I'll end it after this. Apologize, I think I just took that gum out of my mouth. A lot of the same shit. A few different things. The Eternal Life of Goldman, that I did not look familiar. And they're not getting new Gears, Halo. Like, you're not seeing anything there from their massive franchises as well as Sony right now. But Sony pumped out a Ratchet and Clank a couple of years ago. They got God of War Ragnarok, that second Horizon game. I know they both came out on the PS4. Ratchet and Clank was exclusive for the 5. Yeah, they don't have much. But you're not hearing much else on either one of those fronts, so... But hey, that could be a good thing in a way, right? You're not dropping money on a bunch of fresh games that come out. But yeah, I think I'm going to stop this one here. End up being over 40 minutes, so I can consider that a long ramble. And yeah, there'll be more game talk, and I don't know which... I'll probably do PS4, Xbox One, I might do as my next one. I might do that one. I mean, yeah, it'll probably be that one. But anyway, yeah. Thanks for checking us out, and have a good day. Mm-hmm.